Good morning, everyone. This is Black Forest coming in with another market analysis video. We're going to be looking at the USDJPY. But before we go ahead and break down this currency pair, we have to state that this video is for educational purposes only. This is not financial advice, but we all know why you're here, which is to find good, credible Forex content to improve your ability as a trader and help put some more money in your pocket. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get started breaking down this currency pair. All right, now before we get to breaking down the technical analysis, specifically going on a chart, let's talk about the USD JPY. First, starting with the JPY. Now, the JPY did have somewhat relative good news come out that will technically classify it as strong, but there is still heavy inflation hanging over the Japanese economy. So no matter how good the economic news is that comes out for the JPY, that inflation is like a dark cloud that hangs over it. So until that inflation can get combated through economic policy, the good news may cause some uh, retracement, being that it's on the right hand side for a little while, but eventually that dark cloud is going to kick back in and make it weak, which will also end up pushing this up. Okay. Now, the USD not only is it suffering from inflation, it also had some very poor economic news come out yesterday during the 8:30 hour, and it also had some poor economic news come out this morning during the 8:30 hour. Retail sales were down tremendously, which can be understandable because people are trying to save money due to this inflation, so they're not spending anything on luxury items or wants. They're spending everything on their money on needs. Okay, so due to that, the USD is very weak, and the JPY is still weak. So, as we stated before in previous videos, what we're dealing with here is a battle between two weak currencies. The only thing that's causing this momentum up here that it did previously, because this is the more relevant information, okay, and this happened at the beginning and opening of the market, okay. Now, what's happening that you see this big jump up, right, and this hesitation down, is that you're dealing with which currency is going to be weaker than the other, not so much which currency is stronger than the other, okay. And based off what we're seeing, I mean, we had a good to the charts now. We had a very aggressive push up. We did have somewhat an aggressive push down. Now we're looking like we're ranging out. So it's starting to, it still remains that the JPY is still relatively much more weaker than the USD and could possibly continue to go to a long position. Now, unless something comes out, we got some very important news coming out at 2 o'clock with the Federal Reserve, which is going to increase the interest rate. We're going to see how that is going to dramatically affect the markets as well. Okay, but for the most part, until we see how that news affects the markets, we're definitely looking like this is going to continue towards the long position. Now, could this actually start to go down? Of course, it's possible to go down, but is it probable? The only thing that would make it probable is if we have a fundamental shift in which that the JPY starts to become, that the USD starts to become much, much weaker than the JPY, which will start to push price down. But for the most part, we're looking like we're going to continue to range up, possibly go down slightly to about either here or possibly even here before we continue to go up again. Okay, so we can range out, go up, drop down in this general area before it goes up, or even drop down as far as this general area before it continues to go up. Okay, so I hope that information was helpful for you guys. Happy trading.